Okay, welcome everyone to the next interview series, the next interview of the She Shakes the World interview series. I'm Rachel Waite, founder of She Shakes the World, and today I have the beautiful Jordan Tuck with me. She is the founder of J.LUXE.FIT, and she is an entrepreneur. She is incredible. She's 23 years old, and she has some amazing stories, wisdom, insights to share with you today. And I would love to introduce her to you. Jordan, welcome. Please just tell us more about J.LUXE.FIT, how you got into that, why, what inspired you to set it up, and just share with us how it is that this business, this J.LUXE.FIT, is, I feel, is really shaking the world in a really positive way as well. So welcome, and just share with us a little more.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I absolutely feel honored to be here. So firstly, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's incredible. I love what you're doing, and yeah, really honored to be here today chatting to you. J.LUXE.FIT, where do I start? A little bit about why I started J.LUXE.FIT. For those of you who don't know what J.LUXE.FIT is, J.LUXE.FIT is activewear for everybody. Now, I'm just going to leave that there because I'll go into why I kind of started J.LUXE.FIT. I struggled to find supportive activewear as a larger woman, about 4 stone heavier than what I am now. And that for me was really, really difficult. It really harmed with my confidence, my ability to want to work out, to want to go out, to go to the gym, and to do things really. So for me, J.LUXE.FIT is about solving a problem that I had. Yes. And that's how it came about. It wasn't for anyone else. It wasn't for any other reason. It was purely initially to solve a problem that I was experiencing. It just so happened that so many other women were experiencing the same problem. And that for me has really resonated. So J.LUXE.FIT was a hobby initially. It started 2 years ago. Well, just under 2 years ago, but kind of research around 2 years ago.
So during lockdown, really?
Yeah, so it was in the heart of lockdown when we started. Research developments took around sort of 6 months or so. So it wasn't an initial kind of jump straight in, do it tomorrow. It took around 6 months to really do the research around everything to do with starting a business, starting a brand, especially a clothing brand in such a difficult space and cramped market, as many people will say. But I believe I didn't start J.LUXE to think that it was going to be what it is now. And I think that's the difference, is because it's the problem that I'm solving, and the personable problem that I had is, and I'm helping other women that are also having that. So yeah, J.LUXE.FIT, we're on a mission to empower everybody to feel confident when wearing activewear, to embrace body positivity. And all of our activewear collections are designed with you in mind ultimately, and body inclusivity is at the core of what we always do.
Yeah. And I've also seen that community is the core of what you do as well. And I think that's probably why so many people love the brand and love you. It's not just the clothing, is it? It's about the women that are in the clothing. And there's as far as I can tell, there's an amazing community of women who feel totally supported by you as well, and by the brand.
Exactly, yeah. And that's the most exciting bit, and the bit that I love the most is the community that we're building. The brand is like I say to everyone, it's not just a brand, it's a community. And the community aspect, once you're in that community, it's like no other. You feel this buzz, this energy around you, and it's just such an amazing feeling. And I love that is growing, and more people are becoming part of that community as we grow, and it's just really heartwarming.
Yeah. And do they have stories to share as well? Was there anything that you struggled with that really motivated you to think, I want to help these women, I want to help women who've had difficult times or struggle with their body or body positivity? Is there anything that you sort of grew up with or had to overcome yourself?
Yeah, so I went through a lot of stages when I was younger with weight loss and being bullied for my weight and things of that nature. So I really struggled with confidence due to my weight. And so I've experienced that firsthand, and also in the sense of I have a condition that I've had lots of operations to do with, which has made my weight fluctuate over the years. So that for me, I suppose, is more of my personal experience with weight loss, which I've shared quite openly with my community.
Yes.
And I think many people of the community have difficulties with, well, not even difficulties, it's difficulty to find activewear for all body shapes, whether you're a size extra small or a size 3XL. It's not about finding activewear that's that looks nice necessarily, but it's about finding activewear that supports you,
yes,
that makes you feel confident and comfortable and still looks nice, whether you're a size extra small or a size 3XL. And I think that's the real difference, because anyone can buy activewear, but whether that piece of activewear is suitable for your body or the workout that you're going to be doing is the real difference. Because if you're buying something for a HIIT workout, it needs to be supportive. And especially for those of us with larger busts, for example, myself, which is one of the main issues that I had, you're kind of limited as to what's on offer, especially if you want to go and feel good too. There's a very limited market for I think feeling supported, feeling confident, and then having that kind of looks nice, you feel confident, you're like raring to go for your workout, or even if you just go in for a walk, like you don't feel self-conscious.
It's so true that actually, because often like you know, sometimes you feel like you know, just got to put a comfy t-shirt on, you know, something that just sort of covers everything up, you know, when you're going for a walk or you're going to the gym or whatever that you're doing. But actually having something that feels really good whilst you're there will boost your confidence, I imagine, and you'll feel more comfortable, and you'd want, rather than maybe like hiding, you're like, here I am, you know, and feeling good about yourself. And I think that's probably why you do makes a difference.
Yeah, and like you were just saying, it makes you feel good, but that makes you perform better as well. So when you feel good, you perform better, your workout's better, your day's better, your energy's lifted, you're uplifted in general, and that's the difference, I think.
Amazing. Jordan, how have you coped to grow? You've really got quite a successful business in just 2 years' time. You're 23 years old. You know, how have you dealt with the enormity of building this business and struggling with, you know, when the self-doubt comes in, or when, you know, when you're questioning yourself? Like I know we spoke in the past and you said, you know, sometimes you're having to give direction to people who are a lot older than you, let's say. How have you dealt with a mindset of all of this?
I've struggled. I have really struggled. It's not been easy, and I couldn't say to anyone it's an easy journey. It's not. I completely relate with people when they feel overwhelmed and I have days where I doubt myself completely. How I've coped, I've got a really supportive partner, so that's helped massively. I've got a supportive family, also really helped. But I also think that I've got a community of, or I've met a community of people through being an entrepreneur and through business life that have introduced me to people that you could have a 5 to 10 minute conversation with, and your answers are just solved. And all that kind of doubt from that particular period would be overcome just by speaking to someone who's got the answer almost about why you're doubting, or the issue that you're trying to resolve.
Yeah.
And I think the community aspect, not only in J.LUXE.FIT, but actually it that comes in with entrepreneurship, has really helped. I do have a business coach as well, so that keeps me on track, and also he's very helpful with those kind of self-doubt scenarios. It does help, but don't get me wrong, I have a lot of days like that. So it's not unusual, it is normal, but it's also part of the pressure and part of the journey that you're on in becoming an entrepreneur and building a business. I kind of think if you weren't under those pressures, it wouldn't be normal.
Yeah, I think that is so true. So actually, just to accept that this is part and parcel of the entrepreneurial journey, or of life in general. It's not even if you're becoming an entrepreneur. I think just generally accept that whatever you're doing, you're going to have these moments of self-doubt. You're going to have these moments of not believing, not trusting in yourself. And what I'm taking from that is, and I think we can all take this, is build yourself a community, or find people that you can rely on to support you, or reach out to in these moments. I think that what I'm hearing is you don't have to do this. You're not on your own doing all of this.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the support of, and I think the hardest thing for me was finding that support network.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing as a young entrepreneur is knowing who to turn to, because especially when you're a single founder and you don't have a partner, is that I was like, who do I have to ask for their opinion that's got experience in this? I didn't have anyone. I didn't have the money to seek a mentor, and because I'm trying to build a business. So ultimately I had to find, you really have to put yourself out there in the community. And I know this sounds crazy, but like even a Facebook post, there's so, even to like existing people on your friends list that you wouldn't even think would have connections or might not have connections, you just kind of have to do it. And you think, oh, who's people are going to look at me, or not look at me, but read that and think, what's she doing, or who is this person, who does she think she is? But actually you may get the 10% or the 5% that read it that has the answer to the question that you need, and that one answer and that one conversation could introduce you to the person who's going to change your mindset for the next 6 months, or your business for the next 6 months.
Wow. So I love what you're sharing there. It's almost like, don't be afraid to share, to put stuff out there, to ask questions, to post things, like you said, because you not doing that could mean that you're missing out on the answers, the solutions, the people, all kinds. And so don't worry about what people might think or what they might say. If there's something that if there's something that you want to put out there. Jordan, what would you also say to someone who is thinking of maybe changing career, starting a business, launching something, changing into something new? What would you say to someone who's thinking, oh, I'm not sure I can do that? What was it that made you think, I really want to do this? And what motivates you to keep going?
I think for me, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur and have my own business.
Yes.
I've always known in the back burner that was what I wanted to have. I didn't know what in, and I didn't know when there was going to be a light bulb moment. I was just praying for the day that it came around. And it did. But when I was having my kind of, before I started J.LUXE.FIT and my careers prior, I would say that just really trust your instinct, trust your gut on things, and it is going to be scary. But I ultimately always think there's nothing worse than not taking the risk and then thinking, what if? Because otherwise you're always going to be thinking what if forever if you don't try. If you've already got a career, then you've already got something to fall back on. So if it does go wrong, then ultimately you can just do what you were doing anyway. And if you're worried about people thinking, oh, I'm going back into the same thing, well, just do something a little bit slightly different. You've still got the knowledge that you've built over the time.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, nobody's going to think like that anyway. It's only you, it's only in your head.
All in our heads, isn't it?
Yeah,
all
exactly.
In our heads. If we could just get out of our own heads, like, oh, life would be so much easier.
I know. I wish I took my own advice sometimes.
But you know what? That's why it's so interesting to have these conversations sometimes, because actually just listening to yourself, you can go, actually, I'm talking quite a lot of sense. I need to listen to myself more.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us about the legacy, Jordan. Tell us about where you really see you and the J.LUXE.FIT and the legacy that you're wanting to create.
So I see J.LUXE.FIT not only as a brand, as a community. I see that growing and becoming the inclusive activewear brand that every woman wants to go to. An activewear brand women want to wear, and they want not only that they want to wear it, they want to be a part of the community that we're creating. They want to come and meet us. They want to come to the events that we host. They want to come and be part of the shoots that we create. I mean, most of our shoots, we have our customers there so that they get the opportunity, and they come away feeling so confident that they've been part of such an important day to not only us, but to them as well.
Yeah.
And that's, I feel like for J.LUXE, I want that to continue growing. I want to continue helping women and continue helping people to feel their best and to accept and to really have that self-love in everything that they do. And I think we will branch out to other areas as well, but all in good time.
Yeah, and I can see it. I can really see. Sometimes I get sent visions, and I can just see the massive impact that this is going to have. And it's not, and yes, it is about clothing, but it's more than about clothing. I think I just think the ripple effect of you helping, the confidence that sometimes when women get that confidence, it means that they can make that career change that they want to do. Maybe they can make that life choice change that they want to make. Maybe they can go travel. I suddenly feel like you're giving them options and you're giving them opportunities, and that's what's so wonderful about what's behind it.
Yeah, and that's the bit that I love. I love that, because I think that it's so important these days, and especially for me, having that support network is so important. You almost just want to give it back to everyone that you can. And I think long term for me, I want to be continuing to do that, and I also want to give back to female entrepreneurs in the long term. And I'd love to host kind of talks and help one-to-one with young entrepreneurs, so that they don't have to be there wondering who to contact or what network to get into, or I can be there to provide that support for them and to introduce them to people like people have done for me. And because I know that first kind of couple of steps, like I said before, is the hardest. So if there's someone there that can help you take those first couple of steps, or can just provide you with someone to speak with, or can just have a 10-minute conversation, and I remember some 10-minute conversations which were absolutely life-changing. So that for me is really important. I want to be able to do that, because that makes me really happy. Giving back
is such a lovely thing to be able to do, isn't it? Jordan, this has been really lovely, and I can feel your energy and your excitement, and thank you for sharing your journey and for sharing what you're doing, how you're helping to shape the world in a really positive way. I have one final question. I sometimes like to ask this question, and for anyone listening, is why is it important, you think, that we do stand in our light, stand in our purpose, and shape the world?
I think it's really important because then you're true to yourself. And I think being true to yourself is the most important thing you can do. There's nothing more fulfilling than being your true self and feeling happy. It's all about, for me, happiness, and how can you find happiness. And for me, by helping others, by doing something that I truly believe in, something that really resonated with me, to start, and to continue to resonate with so many other people. I think that that's really important in whatever, anything that you do in your life. I really think that you have to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
And being true to yourself is gonna bring you the most happiness at the end of the day. And if that means that you're shaking the world in a way that's absolutely magnificent, then even better. And everyone in their own way will be doing that. They just might not have found that yet. They might just not have got that moment, and that might be because they just haven't spoken to the right person to give them that.
No, it's true.
Buzz.
Yeah, no, it's true. And we don't all have to go off and like massively shake the world and do massive things. It could just be, you know, but if you're being true to yourself, it means that you're feeling happy. It means that you're having a positive effect on your family, on your friends, on your children. And that can only help raise the vibration, raise people's frequency, and bring a much more like positive and uplifting kind of like field, not only in your world, but generally, I believe, in the world in general.
Yeah, definitely. It's the mindset and it's the energy. And if you surround yourself with people with energy, your energy is going to be better. And I think, and if you continue to spread that energy, then you're only going to get the same back.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful, Jordan. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. And I can't wait to share this with everyone. I can't wait for people to find out more about J.LUXE. I will put all your information on here so anyone can find you and look at your website, because I know I'm going to be going on there buying all kinds of things. So thank you so much, Jordan, and it's been a pleasure having you.
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me on. It's absolutely incredible. Thanks so much.